examine how AI is impacting the senior community. And there's a 2024 report from the committee which revealed fraud and scams cost seniors more than $4.8 billion. A 2025 report said those instances have increased now at an alarming rate due to AI. Joining us now, Senate Aging Committee Chairman Rick Scott and Ranking Member Kirsten Gillibrand. It's great to have you both on this morning, and this, hold the presses. It shouldn't surprise anyone, I guess, Mr. Chairman, that seniors are probably more vulnerable to scams involved, and AI just makes it easier.
Well, I mean, they're pulling our heartstrings. They're trying to get our money by having some fake photograph or some voice impacts. Talk about our kids and our grandkids. They're just stealing money. I think in 2025, people over 60 lost almost $8 billion, and it's growing every day. I mean, every day my wife gets phone calls offering to lend us money, and it's all just AI trying to steal our money.
Yeah, and you hear from a lot of constituents, Senator Gillibrand, I guess the same thing. How long has this been on your radar?
For at least a decade. It's been an exponential growth in the number of seniors that are being targeted by different AI scams. Sometimes these AI scams are the ones they used 5 years ago, but they're just more effective. So they're able to now clone the voice of a grandchild, clone the voice of a daughter. They're able to use social media or different types of visual content that looks very real. And so for our seniors, they're often targeted because they have a great deal of money in savings. And on average, seniors are losing tens of thousands of dollars every year.
What is the answer to this, in your view, Senator Scott?
Well, first off, we're going to have a hearing today, and we're going to have some ideas. We're going to talk about the problem with some ideas, but our federal government's got to be part of this. We can't just rely on our state and local government, and they've got to be targeting. We also have a bill called StopScams.gov, which would put all these scams in one place where federal agencies can look at that to see and target the right groups. A lot of it is coming out of Southeast Asia. A lot of it's run by criminal organizations out of China. So we've got to crack down on it.
Senator Gillibrand, is it worse in your state? I don't know. I think of more scammers in New York. Is it everywhere across?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere because these are international criminal networks that are targeting our seniors because they are vulnerable to being misled or to not understanding what's happening. They also tend to use techniques to make seniors nervous. They will try to rush them so that they don't check in with a loved one first. They try to keep them on the phone for hours so that they can't get off the phone and call a loved one to make sure that this is real. They try to embarrass them. I had a family member who was told that she didn't pay her taxes and that the FBI was about to come to her door, and if she didn't pay the $5,000, they would arrest her in front of her children and grandchildren. And that made her so nervous and anxious that she just sent the money. So a lot of the legislation that Senator Scott and I are working on would provide more tools to our seniors, would allow FBI to coordinate with local law enforcement to make sure our seniors are aware of what the latest scam is. We work with stakeholders like AARP to make sure they have all the data and information about the latest scams, which they then post to their members. It's all about awareness and making seniors understand they need not feel badly that they're being targeted and not feel like it's their fault. These are sophisticated international criminal networks. And so if they ever feel rushed, if they ever feel like someone is lying to them, they should get off the phone immediately, not click on the link, not engage, and call someone they trust to help them navigate whatever problem is being presented to them.
I know you want to, Senator Scott, talk a little bit about the Clear Labels Act, which is it's not the same thing, but it certainly is protection for seniors.
Well, first off, you know where your clothes are made. If you go to the grocery store, you know where your produce comes from. You should know what drugs you're putting in your body. Over 80% of the drugs you're putting in your body are generic out of India and China, with almost all the ingredients out of China. We know they're not safe. There's studies to say that is not safe. We don't have inspections done well over there by the FDA. So we've got to let people know. So when we get this bill passed and went through committee 21 to 1, we're going to get this done. It's a bipartisan bill. It's going to say when you see your pill bottle, it's going to tell you where the ingredients come from. It's going to tell you where it's produced, so you can make an informed decision.
Senator Gillibrand?
This legislation will be groundbreaking because there's so little information to the average U.S. consumer to know where their medicine's coming from and that it's safe. And we believe that this labeling will be the first step in allowing more reshoring, allowing more information, and allowing more opportunity for domestic producers. I
know you two need to run. I'm trying to run out the clock, Senator Gillibrand, because I don't even want to ask you about the DSA or the big tent or any of the things I asked Senator Fetterman about yesterday. He went off, and I made the point to him that I can't get any normal Democrats just to say this is outrageous, the kind of stuff that's being proposed, closing down prisons, getting rid of the Senate, all these things. You see firsthand what's going on in New York City. Can I get you to weigh in on anything that you're seeing in your party that you might think, wow, I don't agree with that?
Well, the positions you just mentioned, I don't agree with. And I'm in charge of flipping the U.S. Senate, so we have really talented candidates running all across the country, many of whom who want to bring people together and who are running on common sense, often bipartisan ideas, as ways to serve the public and to make a difference.
Senator, I mean, you want to win so badly that you were riding a guy up in Maine that was clearly beyond normal in terms of candidates, and the urge to try to regain power in the Senate was so great that Democrats were willing to look aside at some of the most heinous things that we've seen in a candidate.
We're confident that we can win Maine, and we have a strong nominee. And while I work well with Senator Collins, her numbers have never been lower than they are today. Okay. See, this is what I mean. I can't get anywhere on this, Senator Scott. Maybe I can get you to talk about. Do you think some of this is crazy? Closing down prisons?
Yeah, I mean, look, government-run grocery stores, closing down prison, being against law enforcement. I mean, unfortunately, you have some crazy people on the left side that I think are hurting not just the Democrat Party, but the whole country.
You can say something about the right side if you want, Senator Gillibrand. This is an equal opportunity show that we do. You got plenty of ammo too, I'm sure. No.
Well, I would just suggest that this country and my constituents expect me to work hard on their behalf, to find common sense, bipartisan ideas like the ones that Senator Scott and I have talked about today, to make a difference in their lives. So we are trying to make safer medicines available for our seniors. We're trying to make sure that our seniors are not targeted by scammers and criminal networks that are operating worldwide to take their hard-earned money away. And the story that you should be reporting on is how much good work is being done on a bipartisan basis in the Senate every single day to help people. And that is why we are serving, and that's what we do on the Senate Aging Committee.
Okay. You going to ask any questions from Fauci today, Senator Scott?
Well, we're just going to try to get facts. I mean, we're going to get facts. Why did he make some of the decisions? You look at the diary, and what he was saying, putting in his diary was not consistent with what he was saying publicly and how he led his life. So I think we just got to get some answers.